Howdy, y'all. How you going? We're looking at a trip down some highways. That's right. Something as mundane as highway driving, though some people find it therapeutic, me included. I think it's pretty fun. And it's a good way to discover, a wide shot of a country, right? And all this time, I really haven't seen highway stuff. So we're not looking at dash cam videos, compilations like we've done before, but rather just one long shot of a highway drive in this case, Queensland, Australia. For reference, all right? Now, I'm pretty excited about this. I'm going to look for scenery. I'm going to look for interesting landmarks, stores, restaurants, that thing, before we get on the highway and see if we see any signs, what that kind of thing looks like, see what the infrastructure looks like, the vegetation and all that. And then most of all, see how people drive, see how the flow is, and of course, look at the different vehicles and traffic, what looks familiar and what looks totally different, where I'm fascinated by it. This comes to us from a channel called Underdog, and this is a long video, so I'm only going to skip around to a couple parts of it. If you want to watch the whole thing, I encourage you to do so with the link in the description down below, and definitely check out their channel. They have a lot of interesting stuff about on-the-ground videos in Australia. This was a suggestion on Discord from Lithgo11. Always great stuff from you. Thank you for that. I have looked at a video similar to this from the Autobahn in Germany. It was pretty cool to see, again, the cars in traffic, see how fast everyone was going, and, of course, the rolling terrain. It was pretty cool. All right, let's check it out. We're going to skip around. I'm going to turn the volume up here. Look, immediately, I see an Aldi. Same logo and everything. That is cool. So that's familiar. Gas station, I always joke, I don't know how to read this. Look at 162.9. Don't know how that works at all when it comes to liters and the different fuel and stuff. That is just foreign to me. I saw a KFC bucket. That's pretty cool. Kohl's, Starbucks. That's interesting. Now, of course, we don't have Kohl's. We have a different Kohl's here. But Starbucks. Didn't see if it was empty or not, though. And right off the bat, look at that Hyundai van. It's actually pretty big. We don't have a Hyundai van like that at all. Look at this, what is it, shopping center? Really cool palm trees there. Those were nice. Very neat roads, great roads. I don't see any major potholes. But you know what? Take this for what it's worth. The road and like the lanes, the markers, even this green part, this almost looks like, other than we're driving on the left-hand side, which is different, of course, from what I'm used to. Other than that, parts of Australia look very similar to the U.S. It's not like some countries where you look and it's like, whoa, this is different. This is very similar, right? This road system here, you would find a road like this in many parts of the U.S. Even the road signs, look at how similar that is. It's almost the exact same road signs. The green with the white border and then the different, markings in the middle there. So that's kind of cool. That's what comforts me. When I visit Australia, it's going to be, of course, new. It's going to be awesome. It's going to be so much unique feel and vibe and different things in Australia, of course. But at the same time, it won't be a total major gut punch of a difference, right? Some of it will feel similar, wide open and kind of the similar streets as we have in the U.S. That's what's kind of cool. I mean, this looks very much like what we would have here. So that's very interesting to me. Of course, you have this interesting vegetation here. Always these thick trees and stuff, really tall. This is, of course, Queensland, so this is just one little slice of Australia. Just for fun, of course, I don't have starting fights either, but, this is definitely a thing in the U.S. where you go state to state. Some roads are better in some states than others. Some states have tolls on their highways. Most states don't. And, some states have, it's hard to gauge. Pretty much everywhere is bad traffic, but some states have better traffic than others. Yeah, but if you wanna have some fun in the comments, tell me, what state or territory in Australia has the best highways, the best kept, maybe which state makes the most sense. Some states have some weird infrastructure here in the U.S., while others, do it better. So, yeah, let me know what your favorite is on that or wherever you're watching from, honestly. I think the climate's pretty good in Australia, so, or in this part of Australia, I should say, in Queensland. So I don't see too much abuse on these streets. I think they look pretty nice. And we've skipped ahead. Look at this cool area. Queensland is so beautiful. Let me just say that. I mean, it's very green, very, it looks to be at least subtropical, if not full-on tropical. It looks like it's always warm. I love the blue sky with these nice clouds. And then, as you can see, through various parts, you get these hills, and you kind of can see some, at least, you know, I don't know if it's mountains or hills, but it looks nice in the distance, right? You get this cool elevation change. I want to see what this vehicle is. Okay, so we have a VW Golf. That's familiar, but that right there, what is that Honda? Is that a Civic? That looks so weird. That looks so different than, I wouldn't think a Civic would be different in different countries. I mean, a Civic's like the most generic, like, you know, most famous Honda ever made, right? I didn't know they were different. It's like really bubbly and short. Civics are, of course, always small. Civics are small here in the U.S. as well, but I feel like this one's different. Our two-door Civic is more like short, so like a flatter roof, I guess, and like slightly longer. This one looks weird, especially in back. Not that it means anything, but it's almost kind of ugly. I don't like that Civic. It's really weird. A lot different than the U.S. ones of every generation, so that's kind of interesting. Maybe it wasn't even a Civic, by the way. Maybe it was a different Honda model, but I saw the Honda logo. Definitely a weird-looking vehicle. Who doesn't have traffic jams, right? Of course, you can find those all over Australia as well. And that's what we're hitting now. Look at that. I can see the Holden logo from here. That's pretty funny. Holden Cruise. And we have, of course, a Chevy Cruise. So same exact car. I mean, these look almost identical, other than a gold bow tie for us and the Holden logo for you. All right, so skipping ahead, that traffic is still apparent here. It goes for a while, that's for sure. Let me mention again the Hondas being different. It looks like it says Honda Odyssey. I could be wrong, but I believe that says Odyssey. Of course, we have a Honda minivan called the Odyssey as well, but we have never had a Gen that had this like taillight setup. It's, again, it looks really weird. It looks super weird to the point where it actually doesn't look good, in my opinion. I don't particularly think most Hondas in the U.S. look great either, but for some reason I find these a little more, just slightly uglier, this design. I don't know, isn't that weird? So that's interesting, just the little difference. I wonder why they would have a different Honda Odyssey in Australia than they would have in the U.S. I'm assuming they're pretty similar underneath the platform, right? I mean, a Honda minivan's a Honda minivan. So I wonder why they have different looks like that. But who knows? I mean, it's not a bad thing. It's just interesting to see from my perspective. But yeah, some quick mentions. These street signs, like I said, are almost identical to the U.S., so that's really cool. With that green, you know, the same style street signs. You see billboards, those are the same. So again, Australia coming in on, oh, look at this cool design. This is something that changes state to state in the U.S. as well. That is cool that Queensland does that. That's something you don't see in Illinois. Our highways are bland and boring. But certain states, like I've seen these in Wisconsin, does some cool highways like this. And then, of course, all throughout the Southwest. Texas, New Mexico, Arizona had really cool designs on the highways where you have this cool, you know, stuff like this to look at. It just gives it some character, makes it feel a little more fun to be on the roadway, right? So that's cool to see in Queensland here. Now look at this old Subaru. Big Subaru fan here. That is cool to see an old Outback like that. That's got to be late 90s, I would assume. And what's nice is no rust on this thing. It's at least no visible rust on the body, so that's cool. Can't say that the same for northern U.S. Southern U.S., you'd be good. It won't rust out, but north, it would. Cool looking building there, the red and white. Interesting. And I hope you enjoy these types of videos. I don't do them much. I would like to do them. I really like these because it's like a good way to simulate, sort of, at least digitally, like being in a different country, when you see these walking videos, when you see these driving videos, with no distractions, no graphics, and no music and stuff, I think they're fun. I think they're soothing. It's a good way for me to get a little on-the-ground perspective with these videos. And as you can see, I kind of nerd out in these. There's a Macca's over there. Although it looks like it said McDonald's. I know some signs do say Macca's in Australia. BCF, what is that? Ooh, what do we got? Look at the shiny red truck. A Colorado, a Holden Colorado, just like the Cruze. Chevy Cruze, Chevy Colorado, Holden Cruze, Holden Colorado. That's pretty cool. That one's decked out. Got that black, or that flat black overlay on the tailgate with the Colorado stamped out. That's kind of cool. Different look. Otherwise, yeah, it looks very familiar. I believe, anyway. Looks similar to our Colorado. And I imagine that's pretty, they actually sell pretty well in the U.S., at least from what I can see. So I imagine they'll sell pretty well in Australia, I would imagine. They seem like pretty good trucks. And then, of course, this is very Australian. Now, you don't see this here. You see work trucks, but they're always bigger. You don't see a lot of smaller work trucks. And so you see this little Toyota here with the Steelies. And this just totally utility bed here, and it's stacked with tools and ladders and all that. It's kind of cool. I actually dig that. That's a very, you see that in Asian countries. Of course, you see it in Australia. And you just don't see that style of work truck here. And I actually tend to think those are pretty cool. So maybe it's because I don't see them often, And look at the mountains in the distance. Queensland really is pretty. It's just a pretty area. Damn. I mean, look at this, It's lush. It's green. It looks warm. There's a Nissan. I believe you guys call that the Navara, whereas we called the Nissan Frontier. But it looks very similar again. And yeah, I just love the terrain there in Queensland. It's nice. Coming up to another traffic jam later on. Ooh, coming to an abrupt stop for a second there. We have a Mitsubishi. God, you don't see Mitsubishis barely at all anymore. They're almost defunct as a company here. They're still holding on by hairs in the U.S. at least. I don't know if that's true for anywhere else, but Mitsubishi used to be so popular when I was growing up in the 90s and early thousands. Everyone wanted an Eclipse. A lot of people even liked the bigger Mitsubishi cars. There was a small phase where the Mitsubishi, I don't even know what it would have been called, but a smaller SUV was sort of popular here, but it never took off like the American SUVs did, or even a lot of the other Japanese SUVs. But this is, of course, a Pajero Sport, or a Pajero. It might be pronounced Pajero for the car, I'm not sure. Of course, hearing Spanish a lot, I would think Pajero, but I don't know what the name is pronounced like for that vehicle, but yeah, that's interesting. This body style, I don't remember ever seeing in the U.S. really, so I'm not sure if we got those or not, but that's not a common sight. Kind of interesting looking, right? And you guys get Lexus. Okay, I always forget what countries get Lexus because not everyone gets Lexus. Some countries don't, but of course Australia, you guys definitely do. Those are popular too. I'm not the biggest fan of that model, but you do see them everywhere. Look at this, though. Oh, Avis, that's cool. Was that a Toyota or a Nissan? It looked like a Toyota. Right here, hold on. Oh, it's a Nissan Patrol. That's cool. Okay, yeah, Nissan Patrol, I've seen a lot of other country videos. These things are pretty good off-road from what I can see. I've seen a lot of Australian off-roading videos in my spare time, and Nissan Patrols always look awesome. We don't get those. And then, of course, for the final shot, guys, we got more trucks. This looks like an older Holden, although I could be wrong. It looks like the Holden logo. So anyone want to tell me what that truck is? And then, yeah, I didn't see many semis. I will say that. I didn't see many semi-trucks. Now, that doesn't mean anything. It just happens to be when this video was captured, there wasn't many by the camera car here. It doesn't really mean anything. But, yeah, we didn't see many of those. It's about the only one we've seen, although I don't know what it is. But clearly it's a cab over. I hope you enjoyed something different like this. Now, I have done these before. Like I said, I do them, periodically, and I really do enjoy them. So I really hope you enjoyed it as well. I think it's fun to see these on-the-ground videos like this. And driving in Australia looks fun. It would be nerve-wracking just for a second, just because, any road rules that are different from the U.S., I'd have to learn and make sure I adhere to those. And, of course, I'm driving on the opposite side of the road. That would be a big deal. And then right-hand drive, versus our cars are left-hand drive. But other than that, it looks familiar, so it wouldn't be too bad. I think it'd be a relatively quick adjustment. Yeah, really fun. Thank you for that suggestion. Keep great suggestions like this coming, and I can't wait to hear what you have to say in the comments. What do you think of driving through the highway, in Queensland? It certainly looks beautiful. Looks like they have a pretty good highway system that I saw. Leave a like on there if you did enjoy it. Subscribe to be part of this amazing community we do have here. My name is Ian. You watch an IWrocker, and until next time, y'all, stay safe out there. I'll catch you later.